Good day. This right here is going to be a short and sweet and simple tutorial on how to play Rescue Perfect Agent. In my opinion, this is a really good level, and because it's Perfect Agent, it's also underplayed, and it's also very exploitable for if you want league points or if you just want to fill out a PD time page. So if you've ever seen any of Brian Bosshart's easy point videos, they're just going to be exactly like that. I'm not going to talk about any insane strats. I'm just going to go through the cleanest, simplest way, and a way that's going to give you high odds of survival just to get, a relevant completion. So I'm going to go through the video, and when we hit relevant points, I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to break it down. All right? So let's go ahead and get it started.
The problem you have is that there is no way to sneak into the research section. The only way in available to you is a weak section of wall like marked in the room beyond the stores. It can be destroyed with explosives.
Doesn't sound like a problem.
All right, so right there, we watched the cinema until that point where Joanna says the word problem. When she says problem, that's where you want to cut the cinema, because during the cinema, the lifts are moving. And at this point, if you cut it when she says that, you can make it to the lift and you can walk right in. So we don't have to wait for lift cycles. If you cut the cutscene immediately, you're going to be stuck waiting for the lift, and you're going to lose a billion seconds, and you're going to lose a billion health at the same time. So just go ahead and hit B on the lift door once it's opened wide enough for you to just walk right in. Don't worry about trying to slip through the crack and warp it. You can worry about that later. So just close the lift behind you, and while you're in the lift, feel free to dance around on the back wall, because guards are going to take shots at you, and you really don't have a lot of health, so you want to avoid getting hit as much as possible. Okay, so run to this point, and these two dragon guards are here. They can do all type of random stuff. They can run in opposite directions, run in the same direction. Ideally, you want them to run into that corner in the left. That way you can punch one of them, and they can't really shoot you back. But in either case, you need to disarm one of them and take their dragon for this next section that we have to do. Now for the second lift, it's not immediately apparent, but to call this lift down, you need to mash B, because at the top of this lift, there's about 4 or 5 guards, and they're constantly trying to call the lift, so you need to mash the button, or you'll never get the lift to come down. So go ahead and mash, and while you're mashing, go ahead and take the dragon out and have it ready. Now, while this list comes down, once it gets to near the very bottom, be careful not to overmash, or you'll end up shutting the door and sending the lift back up. But once it gets down and the door opens, go ahead and slide in the door just before, close it behind you, and then take the dragon, and you want to throw it into this corner, because what we're going to do is we're going to shoot the dragon on the ground with the pistol, and it's going to blow up, and it's going to kill the guards at the top of the lift. So they'll be dead, and you can take one of their guns, because we're going to do this again to blow out the wall in just a minute. But if you don't do this, the guards are just going to light you up and you're going to die. It's important, I want to point out, because I did it wrong here. If you don't have the pistol out before you take the dragon out, once you throw the dragon, you'll go back to unarmed. And that'll lose you a bit of time shooting it, and that'll just risk you losing more health from the guards above. So be careful not to do that. Now you'll see the proximity on that got triggered, so I didn't get a chance to shoot it. It worked out this time, But ideally, once the lift is like about half-ish way up, go ahead and shoot it. And all the guards should die. Stay far back into this corner that I'm in right here, because once the dragon explodes, like, taking damage from it is kind of unavoidable. So stay as far back as you can to mitigate as much of it as possible. So we take this second dragon and just whip it into that far wall, because right here where that silver line is, that's where the wall is going to blow out. So throw the dragon and then go ahead and shoot it with the pistol, as soon as you can. Be careful not to get too close to the explosion, because again, you'll take free damage, and this is perfect agent, and you definitely don't want to take explosion damage. So we're going to get to this point where you have the first set of guards. Just go ahead and play it safe. Shoot this guy and take his gun, and then we're going to use the super dragon that you take from him to take out the other guards. Take the super dragon out. In this hallway, there's a guard on the left and a guard on the right. You can go ahead and, if you want, you can go ahead and use the Super Dragon's grenade launcher, take both of them out. Later on, when you get a feel for the level and you want to play more risky, you can just disarm one of these guards, take their Super Dragon, and just run by the rest of them. But since the idea of this video is to get you a relevant, safe completion, just go ahead and take as many of them out as possible.
Come here.
Now, at this point right here, after that, go ahead and switch to the gun function. Shoot about 20 rounds into the wall while you're running down, because we need to get into this locker room door right there, about middle right there. And the door is locked, but if you shoot a bunch of rounds into the wall, it's going to lure the guard to open the door. And this is the first element of randomness in the level, besides the guard behavior. Because this guard could either open the door like almost immediately, or he could take forever. I've had him take like 10 seconds or more a couple times. So, that's just the way it goes. Just shoot about 20 rounds into the wall and save the rest of it to take out the guard when he opens the door. Just be ready for when he opens the door. If you want, you can use the X-ray glasses to see through the door to see when he's coming, or you can just wait it out and anticipate it. That's up to you. Now right here, this back door, once you lure that guard, a second guard will try to come out of this door, and when he comes out is also like semi-random. But if you want to be safe and save some health, you can switch your grenade launcher, turn around, shoot a grenade or two at this door, and it'll kill him. And then you won't have to worry about getting a shot in the back. Just be aware that the first guard that you want to open the door, it could be happening while you do this. So just be mindful of that. This is completely optional to take out this guard on the right. So feel free.
Now, if I can convince someone to part...
Alright, turn this corner. Take out the grenade launcher. You need to kill this guy, because if he lives and runs away, you'll fail the mission.
There you go.
Alright, so now that we've taken him out, here are the lockers. You need the disguise that's in one of these lockers. And it was actually discovered recently that the disguise can only appear in 5 of these lockers instead of all 10. So let me go ahead and pull this up really quick. This is a very rough sketch made by Icy. The check marks are all the possible places that the disguise can be. So what I recommend you do is run to this very first locker on the right. that it could be in, and go ahead and open it. And if it's in there, you're golden. If it's not in there, go ahead and turn on your X-ray and just walk down the line until you find it, and just go ahead and get the disguise. See, in this run, I was very lucky, and it was in the first locker, so that's ideal. And since it was in the first row, I'm going to turn and leave the exact same way I came. If the disguise is in the second row as well, you'd be fine to do that. If it's in the third, fourth, or fifth row, you can just go straight ahead instead of turning around like I'm going to do and exit out the other shower door. But either way, that's up to you. Once you get the disguise, go ahead and put it on, take the X-ray glasses off, and get out of this room.
I don't have much time.
Come to this door here. Shoot a grenade to take out that gun turret. Take out the data uplink. Go to this PC. Start hacking it. I just want to point out really quick, these pause buffers are only to try and catch, the optimal time that the hacking completes and you can run away. If you don't want to pause buffer, you don't have to.
Where are you taking that weapon?
Come to this door right here and wait for it to open, because once you've hacked that mainframe, the doors in this area will open and close randomly. So what we need to do now is behind the right corner of this wall that you can't see, there's a PC in there. That's an objective to destroy it. So what I do in this video is I'm going to shoot a grenade and bank it off of the wall, and it's going to go there and destroy the PC. So let me see if I can line it up. There. If you shoot the grenade above that yellow and black caution line, if you shoot it above that, then it should bank and go right over there and blow it up. So you want to aim above that. You see where this darkened wall section is? That works, and like the two squares to the right work as well. So you want to aim above the caution line. If you hit the line or below it, it's just going to blow up into the wall. But the bank shot saves time. If you can't get it, or you don't like it or whatever, you can just pop right around this corner, shoot a grenade directly at the PC and just leave. Totally up to you, whichever one you like to do. Now that it's destroyed, I didn't do it in this run, but what I recommend is to go ahead and switch the Super Dragon back to gun form from the grenade form. That way you won't have to fumble with it later on in the mission. I'll bring that up as we get there, but just go ahead, turn around, and run straight down the hallway.
Temperature's dropping. Must be close to the cryo room.
Come into the cryo room, push this first red button.
Understood.
That's going to bring this alien up. Scanning this is a mission objective, so go ahead and turn on the X-ray glasses. I don't know why this is, but you don't have to keep the X-ray on the whole time. So at the bottom, once you're locked onto him, in English it'll say a little green message box will come up and it'll say scanning target acquired. Once that message box is popped up, you can actually take the x-ray glasses off. So wait for that message box to appear and then you can go ahead and take them off. But don't move while this is scanning. This is more pause buffering to find the optimal time to leave.
Hi, how are you? Imposter! Stop right there!
Okay, head to this lab door. Disarm that guy.
Must be near the autopsy lab.
Disarm this guy as well. Open the door. Go ahead and take out the super dragon. At the very back of this lab is a guy that carries the key card to get into the lab that Elvis is in. And we need that key card, so go ahead and take him out with the gun. Do it as quick as you can to put away, and then put away the gun as quick as you can. Because the guard's going to say a message. He's going to say, "So you got here at last?" And after that message box goes away, if you have out a gun, he'll start complaining, and he's not going to open the door until you put the weapon away. And if you keep the gun out, I could be wrong. Like, maybe you failed the mission. I'm not sure about that. But either way, it should never come to that. Just run to the middle of this door, aim through the tiny window, and just take the guard out.
Everyone's been waiting for you. Hey, that's no...
Find the key card and just be wary. Sometimes it's hard to find the key card because they get getting pitched in random directions when you kill the guard. But find the key card, take out the super dragon, switch to grenade launcher mode, and then turn around, and there's going to be a bunch of spawn guards at the lab doors. Go ahead and take them out with your grenade launcher. Just be careful not to run into the grenade damage, and be careful not to get shot too much, especially from the trank guards, because not only do they hurt, it's going to blur your vision, and if you're not ready for it, it could really disorient you.
Harry, intruder!
It is possible to kill them and make this door cycle, but if you want to play it absolutely safe, just feel free to do what I did here. Just shoot them with the grenades and just be careful. Open the door. There's going to be several guards running at you. Not as many as normally would be because we took a bunch of them out earlier. But they're going to be charging you. Your options are what I did in this video. Just gun them all down, running straight ahead. Or if you want to be a little bit faster and riskier, you can run along that far right wall and just maneuver back into the door when you get to the end. But this is really the safest way to do this, I think, especially because there's not a bunch of guards. So just whichever you feel comfortable with, do what you need to do.
Get her.
So this is the final room of the level, and we need one final key card. There's 4 guards in here, but all you need to worry about is the guy in the back right corner. Just kill him, either with bullets or the grenade launcher, depending on, you know, how safe you want to be, how much health you got. Kill him, he'll drop a key card. It could go flying in right to you. It could go in a random direction. Just be ready. And if you shoot a grenade, just please be careful not to run into it. Or at this point, like, as you see I'm in red bar, at this point, if you run into a grenade, you're just going to die.
away from the alien. Don't make me tell you again, Doctor. And turn that laser off.
Okay, and that's all there really is to it. This was a 310, and so I want you to think about like how slow we went on purpose, how careful we were, and how many mistakes like there were, like having to reload to shoot the dragon to get into the lab in the first place, missing door cycles, all these slow type of things. This 310 is still worth 60 points. So that should just illustrate to you like how much of a gold mine this level can be if you can get in there and deal with a bit of guard luck, a bit of damage luck. So it's really not so bad. And like I said, you can even get faster times. Like once you get used to this, even playing this way, you could beat 310 if you make the door cycles and clean up some of the errors that I had. And once you get used to the level, that you can start skipping, killing some of the guards, run into this area faster, and playing more risky in general. And you can, get sub 3 pretty easily. So just keep that in mind as you go through this. So yeah, this